Hey guys, today I'm gonna walk you through how to do the Gauntlet of Shar in the easiest way possible to solve all of the puzzles. The first one is the soft step trial, and what you need to do is go in turn-based mode, make sure you have Misty Step at your disposal, get your favorite character in, the one that has the most sneak, or in this case I went thematic with good old Shadowheart and move her to that position. Once you do, don't step on the plate and Misty Step through the window just over there by the lever. You can use the lever, go pick the key, or it works either way. Or you could do as I did and I just ran past. Important to note, if you do use the lever, you need to wait for the end turn for the door to open, as that's when the mechanic would happen. As you see, the door opened as soon as the environment stopped moving and the shadows moved out of place. At this point, just make sure you have enough lockpicking kits if you decide to go with lockpicking, and you'll be able to open it. It's relatively low difficulty class, so if you go in with Shadowheart, you go in with anyone else, you'll be able to do okay. You could use the Gloves of Dexterity to gain that little bit extra dexterity buff, but this is more than enough. Also, I should have used guidance there, it would have helped quite a bit. Pick the Umbral Gem and you've done the soft step trial. Quite an easy trial in of itself. Following the soft step trial, you have the self-same trial. Now this one you could go all out and combat the apparitions that happen, which will just work out fine. However, I do find using stealth in this scenario to be really useful. It makes the combat so much easier and you can pick out each individual shadow for the relative character. For those of you who don't understand what's happening, you have to fight a copycat party. They're wearing the same equipment as you and have similar abilities as you. And if you fight against someone else other than the character corresponding with their shadow before their shadow has died, you will end up with that character getting heavily debuffed. So for example here, the first thing I do is I take out the Shadowheart shadow, and they're shadows, so they are very vulnerable to light and radiant magic, and just always important to keep that in mind. So the first one is always on that stairs over there, and the other stairs, the other side, since it's almost a parallel room, you have the second shadow. In this case it's Karlach. Karlach, it's just I sneak her in and I get her ready to start smashing, while everyone else is still in the sneak position. I make sure that they don't get engaged in combat, or I try to. I believe I do fail as I try to move them around slightly to organize them as necessary. Now what's good to note is at this point Shadowheart, she can just attack anyone, so you can use her and use Guiding Bolt, as she's a cleric, to just essentially kill everyone else. Now Karlach over here is dealing with her body double. While this happens, I will try and sort out what happens with the rest. It's a straightforward fight. You have Astarion gonna try and go in and kill Astarion, and with my main character, with Tav, I'm gonna go and kill my Tav. As the Karlach is the only one currently in combat, I did her a doozy there, not not making sure I could that she had good HP. I think I had like 20 HP when I started this fight. Didn't go very well for her. Anyway, sneaking with Astarion to hit his shadow. It should get sneak attack here, but I only hit him with one blade, didn't hit him with the double thing. And yeah, just straightforward fight from here. There's not much to say, not much to do. Just keep in mind, don't hit anyone else other than your character's shadow, unless of course you've already killed him, as this will give you a really big debuff, which can end catastrophically for your party. Right, that should be the self-made trial. After this we'll go to the next one. The Fate Leap trial is annoying. It's based on just having to step on the right places, but since there are shadows everywhere and no amount of light will show you the way, it's just difficult. Just you have to work a bit on the shades over here. Take only one character in your party, ungroup them from the rest, and just start jumping. Platforms are your friends. They're gonna allow you to get to places. There's not much to find. There might be something I missed, but as far as I know, there's not much. Try to get an idea where the platforms are. It's a good idea to save before this. But once you know what you're doing, it's really easy. If you're just going in blind, you might have your entire party die because the AI can be a little bit when it comes to jumping after your controlled character. But again, really easy, simple way of dealing with this. After this, all there is to do really is do the library. You did all the trials, but since we're doing the Gauntlet of Shar, might as well do the library. And to those of you who want, at the end, there is a little secret that relates to these rats. To get this triggered, all you have to do is kill a few rats and they will speak to you, you will speak with them, and then they will all squeak all the way down there and do their thing. So keep that in mind. The silent library is quite simple as well. They're all very simple once you know the trick, which I guess doesn't necessarily make it simple. But for the silent library, destroy the umbral thing in the center, and that way you remove the silence and you'll be able to start casting spells. They can cast spells, the librarian it's called, as they are shadows and all of this Sharon bullshit. Just so keep that in mind. Meanwhile, just destroy the thing in the center and then wipe out the rest. What's really important here though is once you've cleaned them out, be very careful of the magic that is running around. The traps that are going to be present, just try to defuse all of them. So there are 4 buttons which you need to defuse on the sides of this chamber. You'll find them they're very easy to notice. They all have a trap on them, so if you don't notice the traps, you might get blown up a little bit. But if you do notice them and you have Cat's Grace, you're absolutely fine. And apart from that, all the bookshelves, they have really useful stuff, lore-wise, and also important for the little secret here is that you need to clear them out. As well, they have traps on them. So again, high perception. If you don't have high perception, try to use as many buffs as possible and explore all of them as many times as possible. Once you do, you are going to open the gate. One of the buttons does it. It's that button right next to the right side at the back. And then you need to put a book on top of that pedestal. Now again, more traps inside here. I was better safe than sorry. Removed the 4 traps that I found and I put the book on top of the pedestal. And the book that's on the pedestal over there is important which one you put. If you put the wrong one, there are spells that activate, there are traps that activate, and even though I disarmed them here, you might not have disarmed them. So you must make sure you're putting the right book in there, and the right book is, drumroll please, Teachings of Lost the Night Singer. This is the book that you need to put to make sure it is enabled. Now here it was giving me a little bit of trouble. Eventually it worked and it finally opened the thing. I don't know why it was being so iffy, but in the end it opened the thing and you will be able to get the Spear of Night. Spear of Night and some really cool rare equipment here, which is great for your Sharon priestess. If you're going down that route, and if you're not going down that route, it just furthers good old Shadowheart story. Hope you find this video useful. With regards to the rats, well, just kill them all, follow them, and see what happens. In short, you might find the last piece of the puzzle for the good old friend that is still hiding down here, running away from Rayful. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again shortly. Goodbye!